And we're back on Nittany Game Week. As we mentioned earlier in the show, huge amount of focus for the coaching staff has been on recruiting to land the best possible class for 2023. With the first signing day in the rearview mirror, it's time to enjoy your holiday with family and friends and revisit the game plan for Utah in the Rose Bowl. Coach Paterno, Coach Bradley, now just over 1 week away from kickoff in Pasadena. A lot of eyeballs will be on the game. You have some other kinds of stats you want to share with us first.
Well, just like Coach Paterno used to tell us, you don't want to be ready too early. So the real heavy scouting report is going to come next week, but we've got some stuff. But first, let's talk playoffs. The Pride Pick playoffs, we have 4 finalists. The first round is now in the books, and we have our 4 finalists. Here's number 1, finalist number 2, finalist number 3, finalist number 4. The voting starts this weekend at NittanyGameWeek.com and concludes at noon on January 2nd, with the winner being announced on the show the weekend of January 7th. The voting was heavy, intense, resulted in 3 division winners and a wild card. And we got votes from 25 different countries on 6 continents. And then we went and said, let's see where else we've gotten people watching the show online. And we are at 65 countries on 6 continents beyond our 11-station network. So a lot of people, to all those people around the world watching in all 50 states, happy holidays to you. Now, let's get into some football. Let's turn to how we gauge the relative strength of teams from 2 different conferences without common opponents. You look at the average national ranks of the teams that they have played. And when you look at Utah has played better teams by and large in the Power 5 games. So as you prepare, you look for things that other teams have done to your opponent that are similar. So for Utah, Tom, you know, Michigan, they're running some of the same stuff Michigan does.
Yeah, what's going to happen is Utah's going to look at a lot of Michigan offensive film and see how they attack the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, a lot of inside zone, north-south, try and neutralize the speed. Take a look at how that worked for Michigan. And again, Michigan had a big day running the ball against Penn State. And hopefully, you know, you see a little bit more physical play out of Penn State in this one, a little bit more aggressiveness up front. Now, same thing, who did a good job against Utah's run defense, which is very good? UCLA. Here's a set that's very similar to what we talked about with Penn State, with these 2 guys in the backfield and another back here. And look how many guys, Tom, they got in the box there.
It's loaded up in the box, so good time to throw the ball. These are 2 tight ends sitting back there.
Yep, and you play action and you see how effective it is. All 8 of those guys are looking in the backfield, looking at run. You get a guy down the sideline, and he makes some things happen. Now, let's flip it over to the other side now. When you are Utah, you're looking at what did some people do against Penn State on 3rd downs. Against the best, Ohio State being the best passing team that Penn State played. Penn State was aggressive up front and then dropped outside. But with the guys off, they were able to take advantage of that, Tom.
Yeah, that's going to be straight man coverage with them just zeroing in with, back your way.
And take a look at and converted 3rd downs. Now look at Utah on the flip side. If you're Penn State, you're looking at what they do against a really good passing team in USC, really aggressive, but they are aggressive in the back end as well, breaking up the plays. Take a look at this on video. And USC was just 1 of 12 on 3rd downs against Utah and beat a Heisman Trophy winner twice in the same season.
I don't think that's ever happened.
Thanks for the scouting report, guys. And we continue to honor the memory of legendary Penn State running back Franco Harris. The National Football League's Christmas Eve primetime game is all set up to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the play voted #1 in league history, the Immaculate Reception. We were fortunate to have a wonderful conversation with Franco as our Impact interview guest in last week's show. And he talked about why the play is so iconic half a century later.
When you have plays that make that moment, it just keeps that spark burning in people and like that spark alive, that it doesn't matter if you still have time on that clock, you can make things happen.
You can see that entire Impact interview with Franco Harris at our website, NittanyGameWeek.com. For a half century after the Immaculate Reception, Franco Harris used the play to encourage others. Our condolences go out to his family and friends. We've had the good fortune to spend some time with Franco on the Happy Valley Cruise. The captain of the voyage is his good friend Sue Paterno. And Jay's mom released a statement that reads in part, "For many, He was a man of miracles. The man showed up at the right time to lift a franchise and a city to greatness in one incredible play. But his life was about so much more than the game. What he did with that moment was even more inspiring. He poured himself forth to a life of service to others. He was an example of integrity, selflessness, and loyalty. Up next, our impact interview with one of the most destructive linebackers in Nittany Lions history. Why LeVar Arrington says his induction into the College Hall of Fame means more to him than a spot in the Pro Football Hall of Fame would. More Nittany Game Week after this.